There is something strange about returning to a place from childhood. The road may still have the same curve, the building may still have the same windows, the room may still contain the same walls, but everything appears smaller than memory promised. The hallway that once seemed endless now takes only a few steps to cross. The staircase that felt enormous now looks ordinary. The playground that once seemed like an entire world can suddenly fit inside one glance. The place did not necessarily shrink, but the person returning to it is no longer the same size, the same age, or the same mind. A child does not measure space only with distance. A child measures space with effort, uncertainty, attention, and imagination. A room feels larger when reaching the other side, requires more steps. A building feels greater when its corners are still unknown. Childhood turns ordinary spaces into complete universes because the mind has very little with which to compare them. A small garden may feel like a wilderness when it is the largest garden someone knows. But growing older changes the scale of comparison. The mind collects larger rooms, longer roads, taller buildings, and more distant horizons. Memory preserved the place using the scale of a child, but the eyes are now measuring it with the scale of an adult. The difference between them is not an error, it is evidence of how perception changes with identity. Human beings often imagine memory as a photograph, but memory is more active, reconstructing fragments, feelings, and meanings. A doorway may be remembered as huge because crossing it once required courage. A classroom may be remembered as vast because it contained uncertainty. Memory does not only store where something happened, it stores what that place meant. This is why the emotional version of a place can become larger than the physical place itself. When someone returns, the walls are still there, but the invisible world that once filled them is gone. The building seems smaller because the life inside it has disappeared. Familiar places feel empty in a way unfamiliar places never do. The mind expects the atmosphere that once existed, the voices that belonged to another time, the routines that gave the place meaning. The same window may remain, but the person who looked through it has changed. The footsteps belong to the past. People believe they are returning to a place, but part of them is actually searching for a period of life. They are looking for the feeling of being the person who once lived there. And that person cannot be found by entering the same building. Nostalgia often appears to be love for a place, but sometimes it is grief for a version of ourselves that existed inside that place. The street feels shorter because the future that once waited at its end has already happened. An adult often sees the structure immediately, where it begins, where it ends, what it contains, and how quickly it can be crossed. Familiarity collapses distance. This may be why some places feel larger in memory than they ever could in reality. A single room could hold childhood, safety, fear, imagination, and discovery. No physical room can look large enough to hold all of that. Reality preserved the walls. Memory preserved the world. When we finally return, the place appears smaller because we are no longer seeing only the place. We are seeing everything that no longer fits inside it.